Hey everyone, I'm Mackayla. Welcome to the Soundtrack of Our Lives podcast. We're going to jump right in with the two hardest questions of all. Who are you and what have you been up to recently?
So, hello everybody. My name is KELZtango, KELZTANGO. All one word, big Kels, little tango. So capital Kels, lowercase tango. I am an artist. I do music, hip hop artist, and lately I've been trying to pump out some projects. So I've been working.
Keeping busy?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah, so you just put out an album, which is very exciting.
Yes. Yep. Actually, that album, mixtape, I should say, because there was industry sounds with that. So, with that, it was called Aqua 22. Um, I had a little bit of difficulty with publishing some of those songs because of some, I guess, blocks on the instrumentals.
Mhm.
But the basis of that was I took instrumentals from different Aquarius artists, as I'm an Aquarius myself, and I basically made songs based around their instrumentals.
Wow.
So
Are you into astrology or is this just something you did for this particular project?
somewhat, just a little bit, not like too far into
Hmm.
it, but I dabble.
Enough to make a whole project around it.
Exactly. Yep. I
Will
have
we
that Aquarius pride, I guess you would say.
will we be seeing projects for other signs or anything like that?
It's possible. It is very possible. Um, I don't know for sure, but I think I want to do a part two to the Aqua 22.
Hmm.
Outside of that, I am not 100% sure. Maybe.
You don't want to commit to anything just yet.
Right, exactly.
So you mentioned working on other music. Can you share anything that you're currently working on?
Yeah, I actually this weekend I will be actually getting into the studio again, working on a collab song with someone from around my way, Crooniverse, as well as one of our friends. He's a songwriter. So I'll be working on that song with them. I'm actually going to be putting out another song. I'm in the middle of actually distributing that song, but there's going to be another song called PCE, which is stands for Paper Chase Experiment. Um, that is a little bit outside of my normal sound, but as an artist, I like to experiment with different sounds and different things. So I'm 100% sorry, camera just jumped. 100% hip hop MC. Um, However, I'm still an artist at heart and a creative. So there's if I hear something or like something that I want to dabble in, I'm going to do it. So
Hmm. So you're open to trying most of the things.
pretty much, yeah,
I think that's helpful because you never know what you can create.
exactly. Exactly. And that's why I like it so much is because there's been times actually this song that I'm going to be putting out, it sounded completely different than what it originally was. And I kind of dabbled with the sound a little bit.
Hmm.
And the way it is now is like, oh wow, I didn't expect it to turn out like that. So
That's exciting.
yes, very.
So you mentioned that you're going to be working on a song with somebody. Do you tend to write with someone else or alone?
Most of my writing is alone.
Hmm.
Based off of personal experiences, based off of things I may want to say. Recently, I actually was just talking about how I consider music to be like journaling for me. So I'm not used to, I can express things, but when I express things, they can be very blunt.
Hmm.
Um, so sometimes 90% of the time, I'll just sit there and just, all right, okay, and like kind of it builds up. So writing and making music actually helps with that.
Hmm.
So
What does it look like for you when you sit down to write a song?
difficult. um, it is a difficult process. Being as though I don't like to label myself, but I do have been I have been diagnosed with ADHD, so
Hmm.
my mind kind of gets scatters all over the place. However, um, I get excited about a lot of different things at once.
Hmm.
So what happens is I'll get the idea for something and I'll go like rocket ship and the whole time the rocket ship's going, I'm sitting there watching it from the ground,
Mm-hmm.
so I'm not even on it. So that's kind of how my thought process works when I'm making music or kind of just with my creative process. I
Mm-hmm.
jump the gun in a good way, but
Mm-hmm.
I kind of end up looking at things from a distance and realizing, wow, I went a little bit too quick. So
So if you could go back and give yourself advice before you put out Aqua 22, what would you
mhm.
say?
I would honestly say, um, I would tell myself to slow down. Number one.
Mm-hmm.
Number two, I would say, um, just trust the process. Um, I say that because Aqua 22 was an idea that I had for a couple years now, and I never like pulled the trigger on it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I really want to kind of start getting the music that I have sitting around out of the way. So a lot of the music that is coming out right now is honestly has been sitting for some time. There's newer projects and you'll see once I'm releasing different different projects, you'll see the progression.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of it's going to be like a thing that I can enjoy knowing that okay, they think that this is oh, this might be your best work. No, you don't. You haven't seen my best work yet. So
So then why are you deciding to release it in this order? Is it because you want to show people the progression?
specifically, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then in addition to that, these are like songs that like it just so happens that they are in the order in the of when how I created them.
Mm-hmm.
So chronologically, they are that way. But also it gives the opportunity for the fan, the listener, to kind of grow with me
Mm-hmm.
and make it kind of connect and say, okay, I was with him for this project and all the way
Yep.
through, and I can see the growth. Even though that's not something that I really um, want to focus on, I feel like it just worked out that way.
That's very interesting.
Yeah.
I think that's cool for both you and your listeners.
Yeah. I really find it important to try to connect with the listener as much as possible. There's things that people, especially when it comes to mental health, I talk about
Mm-hmm.
a lot about mental health. So I kind of want to, kind of start bringing that to the foreground. Um, it's not spoken about as often as it should be. And it's almost like taboo. We're coming out of that phase, but
Mm-hmm.
it's like we really have to kind of get to the root of the problem
Yeah.
and be okay with talking about the problem,
Mm-hmm.
so I feel like this is one of those things where I can talk about any anxieties or any issues that I've had as far as mental health goes and personal life issues and
Mm-hmm.
kind of bring that to the foreground and say, hey, look, you guys aren't the only one, you
Yeah.
know.
I think it's as someone who, I also suffer, I have depression and
Hmm.
anxiety. So like I
Hmm.
think it's important for people to realize that they're not alone because you
Yeah.
don't realize that some people that you look up to or admire are also struggling.
Yeah, exactly.
I think
So
yeah, people forget you only post the good stuff. You only post the highlight reels.
that part, that's something that I was actually talking to one of my friends about recently. I'm like, and it's starting to like that even is starting to break. People are kind
Hmm.
of posting the side of their true selves. It's like you when you're in the entertainment industry, you're forced to put on a mask and a costume and an outfit.
Yeah.
And like I literally gray hairs like it like I say that because it's like not typical for someone in the hip hop or rap game. Is like you see gray hairs like, oh, why are you still rapping? Like, dude, I just started. Like, so this is like one of those things you kind of want to break those barriers and kind of show people that just make them comfortable and
Yeah.
let them know. So
Yeah, I think it's, as you said, it's something that definitely needs to be talked about more.
yeah, yeah,
Something that no one should, face alone.
right, exactly.
Yeah.
So
So Kind of switching to a more positive note, you said that you kind of got into the game late. What kind of led to you getting into it eventually?
Oh man. So basically what happened was my friend he was the artist initially. So he was an artist. I was managing him. I decided to start managing him,
Hmm.
and I'm like, everything was going pretty decent, and just utilizing whatever resources that I had, helping, trying to help him out as much as possible. And one day he came to me. He's about to put this song out, and I'm like, it's missing something.
Hmm.
And like typically when I hear something, I'm like, I have to like it bothers me until I figure out what it is. So I'm like, it's missing something, it's missing something. I'm like, you know what? Let me try to get on the song. So I get on the song, we put it out, people love it. And surprisingly, I got a good response from my verse. And I'm like, oh, okay. So let me try this. And it was like one of those things where it was from that point, I got the positive feedback and it kind of egged me on or pushed me to keep going.
Hmm.
So, and now we're here.
Are you still friends with that friend, even though it kind of launched your career?
Yeah,
Good.
yeah. He's still my good friend. Actually, he's like a brother almost.
Oh, that's
So
awesome.
yeah,
That's kind of special that it was him.
yeah. I guess I have him to thank for that, right?
Yeah. Are you still managing his career as well?
No, that stopped a long time ago. And I realize it's, I love him, but I realize why managers find it difficult to work with artists. Me being number one, that difficult artist, but me working with, not saying that he's difficult, but just working with and trying to say, hey, look, this is what we need to do. And then, like, as an artist, you're only seeing the art and you want to just get
Hmm.
it out. But there's a whole nother side of things that people don't talk about with that. It's like the business side, the
Yeah.
setting things up, and it's like it's a lot. So
And it probably didn't help that he was also your friend.
yeah, because it makes me more when the little things. It's like the little things. So it's like you have to try to separate business and personal, and it was very difficult to do.
Well, I'm glad that you were able to still remain friends after that.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's not going anywhere.
That's good. So, because you've managed someone else's career and then started your own,
Mhm.
did that kind of help you realize the things you needed to do from the business perspective?
Somewhat, it allowed me to because I was going about it in a little bit of a different way from what I've
Hmm.
seen. It did help, but there was a lot of things I had to learn along the way. Kind of more so from the artist side, looking at the management side and watching as management would do certain things or was supposed to do certain things, or whatever the
Hmm.
case may be, and kind of putting certain dots together, connecting them, and realizing what it is that management role truly was.
Hmm.
Um, so it's I learned a lot by sitting there and watching those around me versus being the manager.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
So, what advice would you give to somebody who's kind of starting their career out?
The biggest advice that I can give to somebody that's starting their career is just honestly just keep going.
Hmm.
Um, this isn't an end all be all for a lot of us as artists. You have to love what you're doing.
Yeah.
But in addition to that, you never know what could happen. So just keep going. Not saying quit your 9 to 5, but if you get to that point where you're able to, go for it because this is actually a full time job in itself. And a lot of people don't realize the funds that go into being an artist, especially independent artists, the funds that you basically want to have something dedicated to your living and making sure everything on the bill side and all that side is good. But then the funds for your career,
Hmm.
they're almost equal.
Yeah.
I would say that, and it's very difficult to juggle and manage if you don't have the right um, number one financial literacy. I'll say,
Yeah.
and then number two, like the team behind you is very important. So you can't have somebody you have to have the proper guidance.
Hmm.
In addition to that, you have to have somebody that's all in with you. Sometimes they might take an L with you. It's a team effort.
Yeah.
It's not I'm gonna win and hey, you took that L alone. We took that L alone. You know.
Hmm. Yeah, I think that the right team, and also, as you said, financial literacy, very important.
Hmm. Yes,
I think that's something they do not teach enough.
at all. And I don't think it's going to happen unless unless we kind of change that narrative. I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon.
Yeah, I think it's an important thing. Just in general, no matter what you're doing in life, you should kind of understand the basics, how
Yep,
much you're making, how much you're spending, and just being able to track it
exactly. Yep,
so people don't put two and two together.
exactly. So,
What would you say was kind of the biggest hurdle that you faced when you started?
um, for me, to be honest with you, it was the confidence.
Hmm.
I could be confident in a million other different things, and it was like this. It was just, I guess, it was in the back of my mind. I'm like, I sound corny, or this is corny, or something like you kind of have it in your head that you're already self-doubting.
Yeah.
So it was like to get over that hump and to be a little bit more confident. That was the biggest hurdle for me. But also, what helped me overcome that was realizing that this is something I love to do. But
Hmm.
also, like I consider myself a performing artist, and when I get on a stage and I'm able to like get that energy out and like kind of relate to the crowd or kind of have them react and respond to me, I'm like, this is why I do this.
Yeah.
I like this and it feels good. So let me keep going.
Hmm. What advice would you give to somebody who is struggling with that confidence?
Oh, man. Um, I would say get out of your own head, get out of your own way. Number one. And number two is it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks or says.
Hmm.
As long as you know that it makes you feel good and you're doing what makes you feel good and makes you happy, continue doing that. You know,
That's good advice.
thank you. Thank you.
Before I ask the last question, was there anything
Mhm.
else you wanted to mention or talk about today?
Yeah, I'm actually going to be performing in New York Fashion Week next week, so that's going to be pretty
Ooh,
cool for me. Yeah,
that's
um,
exciting.
very. Um, that is, I'm going to be performing my new song, the PCE or Paper Chase Experiment. Um, I've got a duo album or a project coming up with one of my friends, Sterling. I actually have another duo album that we're working on. Well, me and my cousin are working on C Brown. So like this year, I kind of have it scheduled and planned to where I'm going to be trying to do 10 times better than what I did last year.
That's
So
exciting.
it's yeah, very, very.
And very busy too, I'm sure.
Yes. But you know what? I got in a habit of writing down things in an agenda or a planner or whatever the case may be. I've noticed that writing things down physically actually helps so much. That's another piece of advice I'll give.
Hmm.
Write everything down because it really does help with the process, I'll
Hmm.
say. So,
Okay. So, our last question is, what is the soundtrack of your life?
the soundtrack of my life. Hmm. Does it have to be an actual soundtrack?
No, it can be whatever you want because it is your life.
Absolutely right. I would say creativity, anything creative. That would be the soundtrack to my life. So painting, music, building, just anything that involves creation, I would say would definitely be the soundtrack to my life.
I love it. That's very unique.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, for all our listeners who want to stay updated on you, hear all
Yeah.
the new projects you have coming, where can they
Uh-huh.
find you?
My social medias are it's KELZtango, KELZTANGO. I like to tell people just Google me. Uh, I'm honestly going to be probably the only KELZtango that pops up. I'm trying to get heavier on TikTok. I'm heavy on Instagram,
Mhm.
and then music wise, every platform you can think of for the most part. So that's Apple Music, Spotify, Amazon Music, YouTube, SoundCloud, whatever. I'll be there.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to chat with me today.
Well, thank you for having me.
Of course. Have a nice rest of your day.
All right, you as well.
Bye.
See you.